Berlin. The ref cam in full focus. Now, Stefan, you're thinking that Stuttgart are trying to be flexible today, the way they're going to play against Bayern.
Yeah, I have spoken to Christian Gentner before the game. Not a back three, a back four, sometimes really flexible, maybe sometimes two strikers, maybe sometimes Undaf will drop into the midfield. So they have to play really flexible, but also they have to double, I think, Olise and Diaz on the wings. And that's why Leveling and Mittelstädt have to come back, and maybe Führig on top on the left.
Well, this could be one of those games where it's going to be the defence that is the most important part here. You've got Jonas Urbig deputising for Manuel Neuer, who's got a slight calf injury. The two captains, Undaf and Kimmich. There'll be team colleagues, of course, in the Americas at the World Cup, but right now, all thoughts of that are completely on hold. It's all about the team today. It's about winning something for the club and for the fans.
Yes, we have to mention Karasor is on the bench. The captain is not back in the starting lineup. It's still Chema next to Stiller in the central midfield. Very interesting decision for me from Sebastian Hoeneß.
It does, of course, give him an impact player to bring on, and in terms of impact players, there are quite a few for both sides. Well, what started last August in Wiesbaden and Braunschweig culminates in this game. Stuttgart starting with their own fans, the bulk of their fans behind them, likewise Bayern. England captain Harry Kane looking pensive. He scored in every single round so far. Is he going to make it 6 in a row? The DFB-Pokal final kicks off. It's Bayern against Stuttgart. Two sides that know all about winning this season. If you're just joining us, I'm Phil Bonney, alongside me, Stefan Freund, and already Stuttgart on the attack with Jamie Leveling. Two sides laden with attacking players. First quarter of the game already. It's at an intense level already without even just a minute gone.
Yeah, but both teams like to start well. And of course, both teams have to start with intensity, because nobody likes to go easy 1-0 down.
Maximilian Mittelstädt goes across to take it. Mittelstädt's ball's a good one, and it's straight into the hands of Jonas Urbig. That young man's biggest game of his career so far. That'll already give him some confidence. He's had a good touch. Referee Sven Jablonski going over there. Ulise's on the ground. Ermedin Demirovic. A little late with that.
Is too late. Big contact, but not a really hard, bad foul. So good decision from the referee. Next one, maybe is yellow.
Players in the starting 11s today have also been called up to the Germany World Cup squad. 4 on each side. Nubel, Stiller, Leveling and Undaf. Kimmich, Pavlovic, Tar and Musiala. Had a couple of call-ups for France and England in there as well. Colombia as well. Urbig takes touch. Chabot just a little bit rough going into that one.
Oh, you can feel it. Stuttgart likes to press. They don't like to give Bayern too much space, especially if Obich has to play a long ball. Then you go in every 50-50 decision. And so far they're a little bit too late. And
3 minutes in, this is the kind of game you don't want to get scored against early. Don't want to concede that early goal. Alexander Nübel playing against his parent club, of course, Bayern. He's only on loan. Although it's been made clear that he has no future at Bayern. Whether or not he'll be able to stay at Stuttgart might depend on how well Stuttgart do in the Champions League. Because that will, of course, provide them with a Euro or two. These two sides met here in 2013 last in the final. Undav's ball. Well, that was high, wide and not very handsome, as our old colleague Toby Charles would have once said.
First, good high pressing from Stuttgart. That's what they like to win the ball early, and then they will create chances. 1/2 for Stiller, but good position.
Stiller's not really known for his goal-scoring abilities. It's the way he pulls the strings and makes things happen for other players that makes him so important. Handball appeal. No flag.
Lucid.
What a season he's had in the Bundesliga. Very nearly broke Thomas Müller's record for assists in a single season.
So far, Stuttgart looking good, with and without the ball.
Tar's ball. Lima almost came away with that for Bayern. Demirovic. Jeff Chabot. Well, over the first 5-6 minutes, more attacking to be seen from Stuttgart. Undav. That'll go out for a Stuttgart throw.
Very important touch from Jonathan Tah in front of Undav. Good timed run to the first post. Stuttgart are looking dangerous.
We know from experience that you can't sit back and let Bayern attack you, because they do that very, very well. You have to take it to them if you're to get anything out of a game. So far, that's exactly what Stuttgart are doing. Leveling. Fürich. Up again. against Lima, another World Cup player for Austria. With that characteristic darting run of his. Might drop for Demirovic. Ubik gets his hands on it though.
Yeah, and look at Stuttgart, high up the pitch. We spoke about that downstairs, that they will press high today to be in the game and maybe score the first goal.
Pavlovic. Harry Kane coming back to pick up the ball. So far hasn't seen too much of it. Back in April, Bayern won 4-2. But there's a few changes in their starting 11 compared to that game. 7 in fact, and 5 in the Stuttgart side. It's Undav. Into the side netting off the post. Ubik didn't touch it.
Again, very good football, overloading the middle, passing the ball, overlap from Mittelstädt. Not the best angle. I think you have to try to find Demirovic, Mittelstädt.
I think Undav tried to sell them a bit of a dummy because it looked as if he could cut in and shoot himself, but he waited. Didn't quite work out how he'd like. There's a call for Chabot to let that one go to Nubel. And that was painful. Stanisic, who of course has won the double before. He did it while he was on loan at Leverkusen. Play Upamecano, another Frenchman on his way to the World Cup, like Olise. Jose Mourinho in the stadium today. Had a little look up at the run from Lima. Musiala. Good tackle, throw to Bayern.
And tactically, I have to mention that Stuttgart are really flexible. Wait a moment, sorry. No. Long ball for Harry Kane. I think no touches so far for him. But Stuttgart are honestly really flexible. When they drop deep, Leveling have to defend as a right back. Chavez as a centre half. In the build-up, maybe Leveling is going up. And on the left side, Führig are coming inside, playing sometimes as a striker, sometimes now with the ball as a left winger. They're really flexible.
Undav trying to get on the ball. He's played 6 games against Bayern. He's never managed to score against them. But he has scored in a cup final before. Scored last season. That was well dug out. Now Harry Kane. Snatched at it. Flag is up. Labelling's gone down, I think.
Yeah, it was offside. Stanisic.
No, beg your pardon, it's Haches who's on the floor.
But he's fine now.
Stanisic didn't know too much about that. It hit him, but he was in the right place. Upamecano nearly got himself into a little bit of bother. Robig's kick is just into safety. There is Sebastian Hoeneß. Quite a few Bayern fans think that once Vincent Kompany is finished with Bayern, that he might want to come along and have a go, whereas Uncle obviously has some influence. Not that I'm suggesting that it's a family thing. He certainly has done a brilliant job since he took over at Stuttgart after his time at Hoffenheim. And he was previously, of course, at Bayern before that, the reserve sides. Stiller won that well, wanted the ball played back to him.
Yeah, what we can say now after nearly 15 minutes, better start from Stuttgart, pressing high, putting Bayern under pressure. Have a look again, it's difficult to build up from the back, and Obisch many times have to play a long ball. But Bayern, of course, like now, strong enough to come out of that pressure.
Upamecano just keeps going. There's nobody going to stop him in front of him. Now, Michael Olise. And it's too long for Jamal Musiala. That's a good run from Upamecano. Just had room in front of him, so just kept coming.
Yeah, and then to bring Olise in a position that normally he likes to come on his left foot inside. Not perfect time to pass from Olise.
Reserve keeper for Bayern on the bench is Sven Ulreich, who of course played 13 years ago when these two sides met. It finished 3-2 to Bayern. Martin Harnik got a couple of goals back for Stuttgart. He's also in the stadium somewhere today, as is Philipp Lahm. I'm sure we'll see some of the pictures of them at some point. Big appeal for handball there. It's interesting how many long balls Stuttgart are playing. That's not normally their style.
No risk in the build-up is the message. Trust me, was part of the match plan, and
well, Urbig had to make sure he got down for that. Maximilian Mittelstadt.
strong hands, important touch from Obisch. And Mittelstadt again, so he can go forward all the time now.
I think 9 of this side for Stuttgart played last season in the cup final, so they've got experience of the pressure here. But then they are playing Bayern, who have some talent. nearly 20 minutes gone. Bayern haven't had a shot yet on the Stuttgart goal. Stuttgart need to sustain this intensity throughout the whole game. At the moment, they're doing a good job. Undav. Still Undav. He's so strong. Not the tallest of players, but he's got a lot of muscle.
I think now is the perfect moment to mention something is really important. Hakes is playing against Diaz all the time. Chabot is all the time playing against Kane. And Hendricks is following Olise when he's coming inside. So the three center halves are following the three strikers from Bayern. Oh, it's man to man, and it's danger, but also good then because they can't turn.
And I mentioned earlier that Stuttgart playing a lot of long balls. Oh, dangerous moment now. But Bayern have been playing them too. It might bring them something here. Olise, little chip. Harry Kane only just managed to get his head to it. Only touched the ball 5 times so far.
Here's the individual mistake from Chabot. But good defending afterwards against Musiala.
There you see Julian Nagelsmann in the centre of the pitch, Rudi Völler.
And the chairman, Bernd Neuendorf, all in.
All in.
DFB.
They're all there. And why not, when you've got so many of your players on display? Leon Goretzka's on the bench as well. And Lennart Karl, exciting young player, who will be going to the Americas too. Pache's getting tangled up with Diaz. Andres Undav tried to play it quickly for Stiller. Chases on, Demirovic won't get there in front of Urbik. Chabot making life very difficult for Kane. Kane's holding his ankle. England fans holding their breath, but he's not experienced any detrimental effects from that challenge. Now Olise. Olise's ball, Harry Kane. Underneath it, wants it a corner, but it's going to be just a goal kick.
Dangerous cross from Olise between the goalkeeper and Harry Kane. And he was a moment too late.
Like to score against Stuttgart. 11 goals against them in the 3 seasons he's been here. 5 goals this season. Chabot seems to have a problem, and if he has a problem, then Stuttgart might have a problem, because he's been the man marking Kane. There is a problem. Karazor can play at the back. Has done in the past.
But they have Finjelj also, centre back on the bench.
Just saw a picture of him there. Vincent Kompany in his first final of this competition with Bayern. Max Abel in the centre there, the club manager with Dieter,
Uli Hoeneß, yes.
Dieter Hoeneß is more...
but he's in the stadium too.
Yes,
I saw him.
Probably in the Stuttgart.
Yeah. Exactly.
There is Atakan Karazor.
It looks like that Chabot can move on.
He's jogging to the central line, and the referee ushers him back on. No foul. First time that Sven Jablonski's refereed the DFB-Pokal final.
Clever movement from Undav in front of Tar. Contact was there. You can give a free kick too, is my first.
Seen them given.
Yes.
That's a nice ball. Furish couldn't get it under control. Close attention from Lima made it difficult for him. The Bayern seem just a little bit off today. They've not had a shot on target. 25 minutes in.
And look, Harry Kane dropping in his sweeper position, and Chabot is still close to him.
Tar's header. Olise in the middle. Now Kimmich out to Lima. Back to Olise. Bayern thoughtful, taking their time, not being rushed. That's an excellent tackle. But the pass not of the same quality. Well, we talked pre-kickoff about the attacking power of both sides, but the story of this so far has been the defending.
Exactly. And of course a special match plan from Sebastian Hoeneß. I'm checking the central midfield. I think it's Chema Andres, many times close to Musiala. So lots of one-against-one situations, especially against the attacking Bayern players. So that makes it difficult for Bayern to come into the game and play their possession game.
Yeah, they're not letting them play like they like to. Which seems like a good plan so far. 0-0 after 26 minutes. Bayern looking for inspiration. Harry Kane in the back line. It's unusual.
And Chabot is falling.
Lima. Great interception from him. First time ball. Looking for Diaz. Difficult for Diaz. Demirovic got his head on that. Now Stuttgart have a chance to break. It's Chris Furish on his own. He's looked up. Who's coming with him? He went for the shot and he didn't hit it right. Now Kane is beginning to loosen up. You can feel it. Sebastian Hoeneß is very animated on the touchline. He's had a clear idea of what he wants done today. so far, that is happening.
Here is Dieter Hoeneß.
And there's his dad, yeah.
Former Hertha Berlin manager. Knows the city, of course.
And former Stuttgart player. Let's have a look at some of the numbers from the game already. Stuttgart coming along with Stiller here. They might be adding to that list of 6 shots already. More possession as well. It's all pointing to Stuttgart right now. That was well won. Undav. Too long for him, levelling. Well won by Luis Diaz. He has to wait because there's nobody else with him. Olise made a good run. Kane was trying to look for him. Musiala, Luis Diaz. And the Stuttgart defence holds its position. Too enthusiastic from Pavlovic. Born in Munich, came up through the youth training program there. Furish dinks it too long for Demirovic. Stanisic, ball is likewise not ideal. Olise trying to skip away from Furish and Mittelstedt. Stanisic, Luis Diaz. Danger here for Stuttgart, but the shot tame enough for Alexander Nubel to gather. Alexander Nubel did only play one Bundesliga game and one DFB game before he moved on loan for Bayern. In the season that Bayern got knocked out by Kiel in the second round, he played against Düren when they won 3-0. They might have had a foul there. Half an hour gone, and it's not the sort of Bayern performance we're used to seeing. They're scratching their heads a little bit as to how to get around Stuttgart.
Yeah, of course you can say now the first goal will be really important because both teams are defensively good organized, especially Stuttgart made it really difficult for the favorite Bayern. And it's a good game tactically to watch. Maybe not for chances and from the attacking point too.
That's a big footing there. They haven't cleared it. Musiala. Now, Harry Kane, the shot blocked. Can Stuttgart break? Leveling. Oh, it's good stuff from Leveling. He kept that in. The referee's assistant's flag stayed down, but he just ran it too far ahead of himself, and a mistake forced from the back line.
Well done, Jamie Leveling, under pressure against Stanisic, and only Upamecano helped him out of that difficult situation. He has the pace to come behind Bayern's defense.
Some of the Bayern players with their hands on their hips. It's intense out there.
Chabot is in trouble, I think. Fantastic block a few seconds ago against Harry Kane, but I think his knee is still painful.
Yeah, he's looking at the bench.
Ziyech coming on.
I wonder if they'll do the same with Jeltsch. I mean, Harry Kane is a bit of a force to try and stop. Chabot is strongly built, shall we put it that way. Another corner. Some of the Stuttgart players who were on the edge of the squad for the Americans not in the squad. One of them, Maximilian Mittelstadt, taking the corner. Big punches it away. Now the turbo. No foul. Good decision. A decision that didn't go down well with the Bayern fans. That's a nice pass. Little rough there. Luca Haches will be going to the Americas as well with Switzerland.
There, understandable decision, but not a bad foul.
No yellow cards yet in this game. To half-time if they can, but now it's Bayern pressure. This is a little more of what the Bayern fans are used to. Tartu, Olise.
But that will be the key for Bayern second half. Find Stanisic or Lima, bring them more into the game, because the 3 or 4 attacking players are always under pressure.
They're going to have to find new routes, new players to create danger. Foolish. Not that far far side. Harry Kane, 2 shots, touches, challenges. He's working hard, but he's not where they like him. Here he is coming out of the defence with the ball to try and start the attack coming forward. Luis Diaz waits for the rest of his teammates to catch up. Dominating much of the first nearly 40 minutes, is there going to be a nasty surprise in store for Stuttgart at the end of the half? Not there. There's that shot from Stanisic. Needed a very powerful block from Alexander Nubel. Stuttgart have given an excellent account of themselves in this first nearly 40 minutes. Can they keep it up in the second half is the big question. That one from Pavlovic. Olise beaten to the wall again, and not for the first time. The Stuttgart defence have done an excellent job so far of keeping Kane, Diaz and Olise away from shooting chances. Serge Gnabry there, the 2 injured players. Serge Gnabry, of course, with an injury much worse than that to Manuel Neuer. He won't be going to the World Cup. Manuel Neuer could have played today, but they didn't want to risk him, especially with the World Cup just around the corner. Which is a sensible move. He's getting on a bit now at 40. Need to look after the more mature players. Olise. That's a free kick. Kima Andres. Talked to by the referee, and Harry Kane wasn't happy. He thought there should have been a free kick earlier in that little passage of play, but regardless, Bayern now have a free kick. For that challenge. Not the one from Demirovic. Joshua Kimmich weighing up his options. Once more, Stuttgart keep Bayern out. Harry Kane is on the floor. And he's getting up because he realises his side can still have an attack here. Just 3 minutes away from half-time. Luis Diaz will just get there. Kept the ball in, but couldn't keep the ball. Ball again for Harry Kane. No real case to answer there. Hendricks make contact with the ball. So far, he and Musiala not really a big factor in this game. Kane. Musiala gets it to Diaz. Once more, Pajes has got the measure of Diaz. Still intense down there, the tackling is fast and furious. Well, before kick-off, everyone was thinking about the two top scorers in the Bundesliga going head-to-head, but it's been more about the defences in this first nearly 45 minutes. 28 wins in the Bundesliga, 5 so far this season in the DFB-Pokal. And of course, got all the way to the semi-final of the Champions League as well. Let's not forget that. Be just a single minute added on as of now. Jonathan Tah. This, of course, the 4th time they played each other this season, because they met in the Franz Beckenbauer Super Cup beginning of the season as well. Bayern have won all 3 games. But this southern derby, the Südschläger as it's known in German, looks as if it's going to go on as even at the break.